This week on 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank, the Midi runner and the support for his dad. We'll also meet the Alisal runner going from picking lettuce in the fields to the Ivy League.
We'll meet Sacred Heart Prep lacrosse star Billy Barnes following in his family's footsteps, and Castlemont lineman Franklin Daniels, new to the country and thriving on the football field. It's all next on 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank.
Welcome to 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank. I'm Robert Bronstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. We start tonight in San Jose with a Midi runner competing at a very high level after scary times with his dad.
Taylor Iden runs both cross country and track for the Midi Monarchs. He's looking forward to running in his senior season. He's grateful to have his dad right there rooting him along the way. You never know what you will run into along the path of life. You can do everything right and it still can turn out wrong. Taylor Iden knows this very well. When he was in third grade, his father contracted a rare airborne virus.
Yeah, that was probably like one of the roughest years of my life, because even I was 9 years old, but I remember all of it so vividly, because I had always known my entire life that my dad he had lung problems. And so I remember getting the call. I was in the car coming home, and he got the call from the transplant team at Stanford, and he's like, okay, we're doing this today.
So I had a double lung transplant in September of 2011. I went in to the hospital thinking I was going to be in and out in about 10 to 14 days, what the transplant team was telling me. Ended up being in the hospital for 100 days.
It was a really scary time, because there's just so many uncertainties, and just not really being able to see my mom because she's trying to stay there with my dad. But it was rough, and it's been something that's affected us our entire lives, and it's a miracle that he's lived this long. He's been through heart problems, the whole lung stuff. It's incredible.
Taylor, his brother and sister ended up living with good family friends for the 100 days his father was in the hospital. After the first 60 days, there was a plan to sneak Taylor into the critical care unit to see his dad. I was the first of my siblings to be able to see my dad. I would be lying if I didn't say it was kind of shocking, and the moment I saw him, I kind of just wanted to break down. We both kind of looked at each other and cried, because it's really hard to see your loved one with a ton of tubes going in and out of them, and he wasn't able to speak at the time because he had a hole in his throat, and you kind of just he had to mouth words to me. It was rough, and I'll never forget that.
It was just great to see him. Unfortunately, I was on a trach. I was on a ventilator, and I couldn't talk. So we communicated by writing notes back and forth, and just lip reading a little bit. But it was great to see him, and it was just a motivator to know that I had to work hard to work hard to get out of there.
After 100 days and some very scary moments, Matt Iden left the hospital and never looked back.
Look, the average lifespan for a double lung transplant patient is 6 years post-transplant. So, I know what I'm staring down and what could potentially happen. So I just try to live my life every day. Like I said, I work hard. I try to be a good father and a good husband.
Go Taylor!
One of the great joys today for Matt is watching Taylor run.
Oh, it's been amazing. My wife and I really love going watching Taylor run. He just took off with it.
Taylor's mom first suggested he try running, and he loved it. Taylor had a great sophomore year both in track and cross country, helping his Midi team finish second at CCS in cross country. But then life threw another obstacle in his path. A different airborne virus called COVID-19 hit just as his college recruiting was starting to heat up.
It's all falling back on our class, because what happens is we lose junior track season, which is the most important. It's always junior track season and senior cross country. Those are the most important ones for colleges, for time-wise. And what's happening is, since NCAA, they're letting all their seniors come back for eligibility, they're having to cut scholarships for the next incoming class, which is going to be us. And so I've had schools, I was looking into Cal Poly, I was talking to their coach, and he kind of had to just
tell me up front, I have a lot of seniors coming back, I don't have enough scholarship money, like I can't take you, and it's hard to hear.
Taylor kept running with friends during the pandemic. He recorded a personal best 4:19 in the 1600. He is hoping to show his progress during track season if it happens this spring.
It's been tough. It's tough for all athletes. I think everyone's kind of sharing the same thing, because it's like you're not able to do the thing you love the most, you know, and it's disappointing because you kind of wonder what last season could have been for track with it getting canceled, or this cross country season. We don't know what's going to happen, but it's definitely been hard emotionally. It's been a journey.
No matter what happens this spring, Taylor will head off to college and keep running. He knows life will continue to throw obstacles in his path, but Taylor also knows he is fortunate to have his father and his family by his side along the way.
It's just, I think I hold my family a lot closer, you know? It's scary. Like, my brother went through some health things too when he was in the 5th grade, and just all these things that I've had to go through with my dad and my brother, it really makes you hold them closer.
2 viruses rocking the Iden family 2 years apart, but with Matt healthy and Taylor running his fastest ever, this family can look forward to cheering on Taylor as he races in the new year. Just a very scary time for the Iden family. Matt is Vice President of Sales for FlexJet, a private jet sales and leasing company, and Taylor continues to fly around the track with his family cheering him on. You might have heard Taylor's mom, Kim, yelling in the background, so they're obviously very supportive of their son.
Yeah, and it'll be easy for him to come home and visit with his dad helping lease a private jet company.
Just hop on a jet.
Exactly.
Very nice.
All right, Stevens Creek Chevrolet brings us the Spirit Corner each week.
Let's check in on the Westmont Warriors cheer squad. Coming up, the success of Marin Catholic running back Mateo Perez.
And later, the top cross country and track star from Bellarmine as 49ers Cal High Sports continues.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
One, two, three.
Get ready to cheer for your next new or used car at Stevens Creek Chevrolet.
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
We're ready to make your buying experience safe and easy. Come to our dealership to see and test drive one of hundreds of great Chevrolet cars and trucks. Or you can go online to shop, order, and have your new car delivered right to your door. So get fired up for a great deal right here at
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
Go to SB Live California as your destination for the very best in local high school sports coverage online. SB Live brings sports fans exclusive articles, highlights, coaches, polls, and photo galleries. Get the SB Live app for the latest scores from games played all around the Bay Area and California. This season, SB Live brings you exclusive content in partnership with 49ers Cal High Sports. Follow us at SB Live CA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. SB Live, the Bay Area's first destination for the latest in high school sports.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Invisalign, transforming smiles, changing lives. By Stevens Creek Chevrolet, find new roads. By Wingstop, order Wingstop's new all-in bundle just $19.99. See wingstop.com for restrictions and details. And by Cupertino Electric, the company delivering power and possibilities and celebrating student athletes making a positive impact.
We are back with this week's Adobe feature story.
Danielle Podlaski introduces us to the Marin Catholic running back finding success on the field and in the classroom.
Marin Catholic senior running back Mateo Perez has no problem finding the end zone. After scoring 30 touchdowns last season, Mateo was aiming to record even more in his senior year. Marin Catholic star running back Mateo Perez is unstoppable when the ball is in his hands. The senior rushed for an incredible 30 touchdowns and over 2,000 yards last season. Impressive stats for a running back who started his high school career as a wide receiver.
We had a running back who was going to West Point. He injured himself preseason and hurt his knee. And then rather than sort of go to our backup guy at running back, we sort of looked to Mateo to see if he had interest in, giving running back a shot there, because he was a pretty dynamic playmaker. He didn't bat an eye, he didn't flinch, he embraced the challenge.
Growing up, Mateo loved the sport of football. In middle school, Mateo used football as an escape, especially during his parents' difficult divorce.
Every day it was like I didn't want to go in the house. Like there was something always happening. And I guess just being outside, doing the sport, playing the sport I love kind of, made me forget all about that stuff and enjoy, my childhood.
During tough times, Mateo turned all of his focus to football and pushed himself to improve every day. His speed and toughness are what set him apart on the field and what has grabbed the attention of colleges.
You find guys that could, maybe they're fast, or, they're quick, or they're agile, or hey, his ability to catch, or, he's tough. It's hard to find guys that have, everything across the board, and he checks a lot of those boxes.
Mateo talked with lots of schools, but decided to stay close to home, committing to UC Davis in November.
I committed to UC Davis, which is in the Big Sky Conference. I was talking to Mountain West schools, I was talking to academies, but I mainly chose UC Davis because the support they gave me, the high academics they offered me, the full ride they offered me as well. I just felt, welcomed and loved, and that's why I chose UC Davis.
Mateo will be the very first person in his family to attend college.
It's awesome, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother are all super proud of me. I guess I'm kind of leading the example of this family and just wanting to start something new.
It's been 4 years since Mateo's parents' divorce was finalized. Through everything, Mateo and his younger sister are closer than ever.
This is the closest we've ever been throughout our lives, yeah. This start of high school, we've gone way closer.
With the pandemic, Mateo's senior season is still up in the air. Last year, Marin Catholic fell in the NCS finals. The Wildcats are hoping for another shot at the title.
Painful loss. And obviously the whole offseason, you're hurting still over that and looking forward to having an opportunity to come back, redeem yourself. And then, then that pain went away real quick when the pandemic hit, and sort of we were just looking to figure out how to maneuver it in that.
After months and months of working out, Mateo is itching to finally play a game.
This is the longest, practice season we've had. And it's just that one time, that time we get to finally put on the pads, the times that we get to have that feeling before a game starts is kind of itching, and I just can't wait.
This season, Mateo will take on a new role and wear the C for the Wildcats.
Definitely not that typical captain, kind of tell you what to do. I'm more of, I'll show you how to do it. I'm not gonna yell at you, because there's no point. I mean, I'll lead by example. I don't want to yell at you, it's just not who I am.
But until the football season is given the green light, Mateo is focusing on staying in shape and doing well in his virtual classes. He also picked up a new hobby.
Learn how to play the guitar. I just, downloaded some apps, some monthly like the apps, and I just learned how to play, yeah.
Marin Catholic's Mateo Perez started out as a wide receiver for the Wildcats, but converted to a running back, and the rest is history. After a huge junior year, the senior captain is more than ready to play this season before heading off to UC Davis in the fall. Mateo is excited for his next chapter at UC Davis. He plans on majoring in sociology. Robert and Aubrey, back to you.
Thanks, Danielle. Cal Hope is bringing us good advice each week to help young people deal with the stress from the pandemic.
Here's this week's Cal Hope mental health tip.
It's hard to be happy and relaxed during this stressful time. So when you're home, make a game plan for mental wellness. Reading or watching too much news about the virus can be overwhelming. It's okay to tune out sometimes and give yourself a break.
Coming up, Franklin Daniels, a talented lineman from Castlemont, talks about his struggles from moving to this country.
And later, we'll meet Billy Barnes, one of the top lacrosse players in the country. We'll be right back.
People always ask me what I got on. They be like, hey Brandon, what you got on? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Invis is everything braces isn't. More comfortable, fewer emergency appointments. Invisalign.
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from CalHope. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.org. CalHope, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Invis is everything braces isn't. Eating the food you love, life uninterrupted. Invisalign.
We're Granada High School, and you're watching 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
Welcome back. U.S. Bank helps bring us stories of inspirational athletes who overcome adversity in their lives to succeed in school and in sports.
That's right. Franklin Daniels arrived to the United States in 2019, and the transition has not been easy.
I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. I just moved here to go to college. That was my main plan, moving here.
Franklin Daniels moved to the United States from Nigeria to pursue his academic goals and discovered a passion for football.
There's nobody plays American football. The only football we play in Africa is soccer.
I was like, okay, man, just come on, give it a try. I just got the job back, and just give it a try. He thought I was talking about soccer, and so I was like, no. I'm talking about American football. And I was like, man, look, this is an opportunity. You get with your size, somebody might offer you a scholarship if you just try. You know what I'm saying? Just give it a try. Let's give it a shot and let's see what we can do to get you, some academic and athletic money for school. And he's just been so committed to it, like learning it. You know what I mean?
Franklin's mom and sister were living in Oakland 6 months before Franklin arrived in September of 2019.
When we moved here, it wasn't really easy. So when you're in Africa, there's some kind of like the whole stereotype about America, about the whole life being easy, everything being smoothly going. When we got here, a lot of things were not as easy. As we got in my house, it was not easy. Food expenses, all that, getting the job with my citizen status and my mom's citizen status too. It was real hard for me. It was something, it broke me down a lot of times. So it's been hard. It's a lot of, I've been through a lot of things right here, and so it's been hard for me. My role, I'm kind of like a leader when my dad's not around. I have a lot of responsibilities. My sister's one of my prior responsibilities. I also take care of my mom because when something's happening, she needs someone by her side.
Franklin says one of the hardest things about the move was not being able to apply for a job. His visa didn't allow it.
Everything was whole different. My citizenship status, they didn't really let me do as much as a regular teenager can do. I can really get a job and all that, so I'm mature and I see things happen in my house and I'm trying to take action. And I'm trying to like get a job to at least get some, at least help the family in a little bit. But the job my mom was doing, it was at a point in time, it was a little bit hard for my mom to pay the rent and also provide food in the house. And I'm like, I gotta get a job, at least help in any way helps for my mom. So that was all I was trying to do, but it didn't really work out where I wanted to, and it broke me down a lot.
Set, go! But the time he wasn't able to spend working, Franklin dedicated to football.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of time to focus about football because I'm the type of person that I don't like sitting around doing nothing. Then all I had right now was just football to do. So I just kept doing that. I loved it and come to practice every day. It's just something I enjoy.
He's a hard worker and he's willing to work, which is, I hate to say it, is kind of uncommon now in certain kids, you know what I mean? Not specifically ours, because our kids will work, but just for a kid to want to do football and work, that shows a lot about this dude's character, you know what I mean? And so I can't wait to see him on the football field. I can't wait to coach him, and I'm excited to see where this goes with Franklin.
Now Franklin wants to pursue football in college, and he's hoping to use it as a way to achieve his academic goals.
Nick, stay in there.
Yeah, I see myself pursuing football. I spend a lot of time in it, spend a lot of sweat doing all that drills, and I know God is seeing the hard work I put in. So yeah, I see myself playing football next year.
Franklin says he wants to become a civil engineer, which is one of the reasons he actually landed in the Bay Area. He has a lot of goals he wants to achieve, and now playing college football is on the list.
Outstanding. Great goals. All right, Wingstop brings us the Wings of an Angel honor each week, where a student athlete talks about their favorite teacher.
Here's Brody Tagaloa from De La Salle talking about his favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher gotta be Coach Edson, not only because he's my defensive coordinator, but I feel like he do know what he's doing in religion. He might laugh at this, but hey, you're my favorite teacher, man.
Our Wings of an Angel teacher will receive a Wingstop gift card for doing such a great job.
Wingstop is also honoring Terry Blanchard, a Wingstop owner who passed away this past spring from COVID-19. Wingstop will be supporting scholarships for athletes of color in Terry's honor, and those scholarships to be presented at our awards ceremony in June.
Coming up, the cross-country runner who is leaving the fields of Salinas and heading to an Ivy League school.
And later, it's the Clover Dairy Deja Mu athlete as we identify this former Bay Area high school star who's now grazing through the NFL.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon pepper, sweet and spicy Korean cute-tastic mango habanero
masterclass in all things wings?
Yes, I am.
Are you though?
I'll take that.
All right. Get the new all-in bundle for just $19.99. Available for delivery and carry-out for a limited time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Piercy Honda, located right off Highway 880 in Milpitas, is where you will find hundreds of new and pre-owned Hondas to choose from. Low credit score, no credit, first-time buyer? No problem, Piercy Honda can help. Find us online at piercyhonda.com to search our inventory, calculate your payments, and even complete your purchase. Piercy Honda is home to great customer service, great deals, and a more convenient way to buy a new or pre-owned Honda. Go to Piercy Honda in Milpitas.
The Guzmans were about to close on a home they adored, but at the last minute, their mortgage company denied their loan because the unusual home didn't meet their usual loan requirements. Heartbroken, they turned to Tri-Counties Bank home mortgage loan specialist Vincent Pagera. Specializing in custom loans for unique homes, his team quickly designed a creative solution, uniting the Guzmans and their home just in time. That's a perfect match. For personalized problem solving, switch to Tri-Counties Bank. Service with solutions.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By DGDG.com, where we want you to be a happy car buyer. By the Rikes Center, where goals and dreams become a reality. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions. 12 locations now open in the Bay Area. And by the Serena Group, here for good.
I'm Kathleen Pazine with Serena Group Real Estate, and I'm proud to support Bay Area high school sports on the 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
We are back with the story of great success for a Salinas runner.
This Alisal senior worked picking lettuce with his dad in the fields of Salinas, but he has worked hard to change the cycle of success, as our Jack Johnson tells us.
As a student athlete running cross country at Alisal High School, Mario Carrillo aims to finish first for himself. But this year, he achieved a much more important first for his family. On the surface, Mario Carrillo is like many other students at Alisal High School in Salinas. Mario comes from a low-income family, with his father spending many hours working in the fields of Central California picking lettuce. The stress of living paycheck to paycheck can take its toll on any family, so Mario turned to running as a form of escape.
It all started when I was sophomore year, when my friends invited me to go run with them. I wasn't really into sports, but my friends pushed me to do sports. It opened a whole new world for me. It really improved my health.
For Mario, running not only aids his physical health, but also allows him to attack his homework with a clear mind.
Taking like a heavy course load and staying for tutorials after school, and then looking forward for a relaxing run in the afternoon. Just de-stress myself from the heavy work. Once I would get home, my body would ache, but it was relieving to just sit down and like full on concentrate into homework.
The window of opportunity is not as wide for the son of a farm worker as it is for students with more opportunities. But at Alisal, student athletes like Mario are taking advantage of what little opportunities they have.
Yeah, ever since I started here 13 years ago, I've had a lot. I mean, the majority of my students and athletes are first generation to go to college. You know, many of them are immigrants themselves, or their parents came and they were born here. And there are a lot of them that have parents that work in the fields, and they themselves have worked in the fields over the summer. Sometimes they'll have to travel with the crop to Arizona, and they know, and they've been given an opportunity by coming here to the States to be able to go off to college and do something different with their life.
Mario knew his prospects would be tough given his situation, so he decided challenging himself in the classroom would be the golden ticket to success, providing him the higher education his father did not have.
Some of the material was pretty difficult. Physics was difficult, but at the end, I would get inspired by my family. Like the hard work that they have done is just added to keep pushing forward and break expectations from like other students that might have more.
Mario's parents raised a family of 6, all living in a one-bedroom apartment. Mario's father didn't want his son to work in the fields, so he decided the best way to inspire Mario was teaching him firsthand the life of a farm worker.
It did happen. I did go work alongside my father for a good period of time. But the reason why is because he wanted to ingrain, rather than picking up a box of lettuce with your bag, you would rather have a backpack with a computer and a pencil. And it really opened it inspired me to keep working hard. I did not want to live the same lifestyle, the backbreaking labor that my dad had.
The lessons Mario took from his time in the fields with his father gave him all the motivation he needed to ensure both he and his siblings would never live a life of manual labor.
My father's my inspiration. Like, that work, it's like not something I would be able to do. It's not something that I don't want my siblings to do. He does that he sacrifices his health for his family, and I'm truly grateful for that.
Mario continued to rack in high marks in the grade book. The chance to attend a university began to present itself. Mario needed as much financial aid as he could get, so he went on a search for a scholarship program to assist his application process.
Originally, I did not plan on applying to top schools until I was with my friends, and we were researching schools, and we figured that the top schools, the more prestigious universities, give the most aid. Aid would be like the #1 factor in the reason why I applied to Columbia. These schools have so much money to give out, and I applied through this program called QuestBridge, which is for low-income, high-achieving students. They offer full rides to students that come from under-resourced backgrounds, and so it's until I met that program that I really wanted to shoot top schools, and so I applied to Stanford, MIT, Columbia, and Yale.
Then the magical moment arrived. All the hard work in school and in the fields helping care for his siblings paid off. Mario had pulled himself up from difficult circumstances in a low-income family to be the first Carrillo to attend a university. And not just any college. Mario will go full ride to Columbia University to receive an Ivy League education this fall.
I was overjoyed. I'm super grateful. I did not expect to be accepted. I understood that these schools are very selective, and just the fact that they accepted me and wanted to give me a full ride to their school, it just brought me joy. For the first time, I saw my father cry. I just knew that I made it.
Mario knows he has set an example for his younger siblings and hopes his hard work can serve as a roadmap for them to follow.
Immediately, I thought about my siblings, how I have to set an example for them, and how I want them to do the same thing. I don't want them to struggle and work, so I'll be there for them. I set encouragement for them.
From the fields of Salinas to New York City, Mario Carrillo is changing his life by using education to change the cycle of poverty. At Columbia, Mario is looking forward to running a little bit, but most importantly, to getting an education that will propel him forward in his life. Robert and Aubrey, back to you.
Thanks, Jack. Lexus of Stevens Creek brings us the Volunteer Award each week. The volunteers all becoming eligible for $10,000 in scholarships given out by Lexus of Stevens Creek at the end of the year.
This week's Lexus of Stevens Creek Volunteer Award goes to Ashley Warren from Los Altos High School. Ashley is a competitive cheerleader, and before the pandemic, she helped coach a very special cheer team. The team is called NorCal Elite Gemini, and it features athletes with both physical and mental disabilities. Ashley has been able to keep in touch with the athletes over Zoom, but misses watching them compete in competition.
My favorite part is probably watching the kids perform because, practices can be really tough for them, but you watch them perform and they're all just so excited to be in front of the crowd, and they're so happy, and it's the best thing. With kids my age, it's a very self-centered time. I feel, at least for me, it's, I have to get the best grades, I have to do the best things that look good on my college apps, and I think we sometimes forget that we have to do things to give back to our community, and that there are other people besides ourselves who are maybe having a harder time than us, and I think volunteering and giving back is a great way to remind ourselves that we're not the only people in the world and that others may have it worse than us.
Coming up, we'll meet Billy Barnes, a star on the lacrosse field, just like his dad and his older brother.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports, the #1 high school sports show in the nation.
DG brings us stories each week of outstanding athletes from all around the Bay Area.
Billy Barnes is a senior at Sacred Heart Prep and has been dominating the lacrosse field since his freshman year.
Billy is, simply put, one of the best lacrosse players we've ever had at Sacred Heart.
Senior midfield scorer Billy Barnes has been able to play just 2 years with the Gators so far. The pandemic took away his junior season, but Billy already has made a lasting impact on the Gator program.
You know, when Billy came in his class, which are currently seniors now, they came in as freshmen and instantly made a giant impact. And so as a player, anytime Billy is on the field, we're just much, much better.
I've loved my career at SHP so far, starting from freshman year. I made varsity and I got to contribute pretty significantly out of the midfield, and I just loved the culture that the team had built. And sophomore year, I was able to contribute even more to the team. I played some valuable minutes in some big time games. We went to the East Coast, played some huge games that I got to play in front of huge crowds and audiences.
His sophomore year, Billy scored 31 goals and tacked on 29 assists. That same year, his big brother Tommy, a senior, tallied up 77 goals with 50 assists, right before heading off to play college lacrosse at Princeton.
Few years in which Tommy was on my team were awesome because, as I've mentioned, he's helps me just in the game a ton. He's always looking for me on the field for goals, and he helps me so much off the field. He teaches me all the things that I need to know for the next level. For example, this past summer, he taught me so much that he's learned at Princeton.
Yeah, I mean, it was very cool. Just we worked together in the backyard for years. It's cool to just have him on the field. Obviously, he's a good player, so that helped the team. And it was just cool to run on the same line with him. Very cool for the whole family, and especially both of us.
To see them playing for 2 years and have that brotherly connection was really cool, because they're very intellectual students, but lacrosse players as well, so they understand the game really well. And Tommy would throw passes to Billy that I think he would only throw to Billy, and somehow Billy knew exactly where to be, where Tommy wanted to throw the ball, and he'd catch it and score a goal, and sometimes it'd go the other way. But you definitely felt that connection, unlike just two players on a team would have.
Tommy's kind of been my mentor for a lot of my lacrosse career. He's always in the backyard, we always shoot. He always teaches me things that he's learned in his older, more experienced career. So I think I definitely wanted to continue playing with Tommy and sharing the lacrosse field with Tommy.
After graduation in the spring, Billy will join his big brother Tommy at Princeton, one of the top schools in the nation for men's lacrosse. In fact, Billy will be the third Barnes boy to graduate playing lacrosse at Princeton. Billy and Tommy's dad, Tom, did it first in 1990.
I think it definitely was influential having him there, because I knew that he loved his time at Princeton, and I knew that he was super involved with Princeton, and he still loved it, and he was still a fan of the lacrosse team. And so when they reached out to me and I visited, I felt like it was an awesome place, and it was definitely a place that I wanted to continue my career. I remember when I was super young, like 4 years old or 5 years old, he gave us lacrosse sticks, me and Tommy, and we'd always just go in the back and throw and catch, even though me and Tommy really didn't know how, and we had no idea how to use the sticks. But he's always been there throughout my whole lacrosse career. He was coaching my teams. It really helped me grow as a player, knowing that my dad was there behind me, trying to push me to get better.
It's just kind of something that's connected us, something that we all do. We can just do in the backyard and always do together.
When people think of the Barnes family, I assume that they think of lacrosse first. It's a huge part of our identity. I mean, every single one of us, except my mom, plays lacrosse. We all spend so much time playing lacrosse in the summers, traveling all over the country. It's just a huge part of our family.
Because of the pandemic, Tommy is taking a gap year. He will return to Princeton in the fall with 3 years of eligibility, meaning 3 years of playing with Billy instead of just 2.
It'll be very cool. I know there are a couple other people on our team who have played with their brothers, and they all say it's one of the coolest experiences they've ever had. I think especially in college, where you're around the team for the entire day, all year, it's going to be especially cool.
Off the field, he's taught me how to lead teams, because I was always more of a quiet player. I wasn't very vocal on the field, so he kind of taught me how to kind of take control of like a team and say, hey, this isn't working, this is working, let's do this, let's do that, like we do what works. And he kind of helped me become a better captain in my past years.
You know, I think Billy's learned how to work hard, and I think he's learned to play the game at a high level and how to make people around him better. And when, you know, he gets to Princeton, he's going to have to up his game just like he did when he was a freshman here, and I'm very sure he'll do exactly that.
Billy is preparing for his final season with the Gators, and with a bright future ahead of him, Billy is thankful for the man who introduced him to the game and the brother he gets to share it with. Coach John Rotelli says Billy and Tommy were both some of the best lacrosse players to come out of Sacred Heart Prep, but I'm going to take it one step further and say they're some of the best athletes. Billy was a star on the soccer field, and Tommy dominated on the football field.
Yeah, and Sacred Heart Prep with a really good, strong reputation for their lacrosse program.
Yes, very strong.
Yeah, doing really well. All right, coming up, the top runner from Bellarmine and his plans for the future.
49ers Cal High Sports will be right back.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
It's understandable to feel anxious, stressed, or lonely because of COVID-19. Physical separation, your own health, and the health of friends and family can weigh heavily on you. Call a timeout on work. Get a game plan for mental wellness with crucial mental health resources from CalHOPE. We'll help you carry the ball. Call 1-833-317-HOPE to talk to someone who can help, or visit calhope.org. CalHOPE, official partner of the San Francisco 49ers.
For more than 65 years, Cupertino Electric has been delivering power and possibilities. With offices throughout California and project sites throughout the U.S., Cupertino Electric today builds renewable, commercial, utility, and data center projects for some of the most influential companies in the world. Beyond that, we are a people company. We build family, communities, and meaningful careers. Visit CEI.com today or connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or other social sites to see our openings and join our team.
Devcon Construction is #1 in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley because of trust. 95% of our business comes from repeat customers. They know the customer is our top priority. That's why Devcon was the choice for the 49ers Stadium and for the Earthquake Stadium. Devcon was also chosen when outstanding schools like Bellarmine, the Nueva School, and Mitty wanted the very best on time and on budget. Top Bay Area companies know Devcon is the best choice whether it's new construction or renovation. Devcon Construction, helping to build the best in Silicon Valley. We are back with the Bellarmine runner finding great success.
Danielle Podlosky is back with the story of Colin Peaty from Bellarmine.
Bellarmine cross country and track senior Colin Peaty is one of the top runners in the United States. Colin talked with nearly 20 colleges, many within driving distance of home, but he committed to a school 3,000 miles away on the East Coast. From the moment Bellarmine cross country and track senior standout Colin Peaty stepped on the track his freshman year, his coach knew he would be something special.
I could tell when he came up for track that he had the potential to be truly great, not just good, because of his attitude, because of the kind of teammate he was, because of his positivity, because of work ethic. And there were a lot of factors that aren't just purely the DNA and the physical factors that differentiate good and great. And right away I could tell that Colin had greatness.
Since his freshman season, Colin has become one of the very best runners, not only in California, but in the country. As a sophomore, Colin was among the top 50 runners in the United States in the 1600 with a time of 4:09.
Running 4:09 my sophomore year, and I took second in the state meet in the 1600, which that was really cool. That was really my first race where I was able to compete with guys like on the national level and not just like California.
In his junior cross-country season, Colin helped Bellarmine break a record at the team's home course and qualify for the prestigious Foot Locker National Championships in San Diego.
When I first got into running track and cross country, I remember discovering Foot Locker on YouTube and I would watch the race videos over and over again, and to be on the line there and have the jersey on, it was just really surreal.
Along with his impressive performances, Colin brings a positive attitude to the team each practice.
Positivity is probably one of his best traits. He's one of the best runners in the United States, and yet I would say the way he treats his teammates, regardless of where they kind of rank on the team in terms of ability or whatever, or perceived ability at least, doesn't change.
With all of his success, Colin drew a lot of attention from colleges. After talking with nearly 20 schools, Colin is heading to the East Coast in the fall after committing to the University of Virginia.
I was just really looking for a school that would have the type of social life that I would thrive in and also have the education. Those were really my main two things. Obviously the sport athletic department stuff was important as well. But then once I found those schools, I was just looking at the coach and how well him and I clicked, and then the guys on the team and what they were running for and what they wanted to accomplish. And I really just found the perfect combination for me at Virginia.
Coach McChrystal says Colin will make an immediate impact at Virginia.
His new teammates, when he matriculates to Virginia, these guys, they're going to benefit so much for having him as a teammate. In training, in his toughness and his dedication in training, outside of training and his positivity, and then just his competitiveness. When he puts on that uniform and runs for them, he's going to give it all he's got.
Colin runs on the Bellarmine varsity teams alongside 6 other seniors. Colin says they are like family.
Over the course of high school competition, the amount of miles and workouts that we've done together and just being together at meets and racing for one another has really brought us super close together. And the boys that are on the varsity team and the boys that are on the entire team as a whole have really defined my high school experience, and it definitely wouldn't be the same without this group of kids.
This year's senior class is arguably one of the best to ever run at Bellarmine.
I've coached so many great teams and so many great student athletes, but I've never had a group of student athletes who were so good at doing this thing, in this case, running really fast for a long way. They're the best group of that I've ever had.
With the pandemic and postponement of the cross-country and track seasons, Colin is training on his own.
I have been running anywhere between 7 to 12 miles every day for 6 days a week. Right now I'm kind of hurt, so I've just been going on bike rides, and that's pretty fun as well.
Colin has not run in a race since March and is more than ready to compete in his senior year.
I'm super ready. I had really big aspirations for my track season junior year, and sadly I didn't get to compete. And I know as a team we had huge aspirations for this senior cross-country season, and we weren't able to capitalize on that. So if we are fortunate enough to get a track season this year, I'm definitely going to give it my all and make it really difficult for anybody to hang.
Senior Colin Petey is leaving his mark on the Bellarmine cross-country and track teams, but he isn't done yet. In his final year of high school, Colin is aiming to record more wins and break more records before starting his next chapter in Charlottesville.
Look, Mom, I'm on the news.
Colin is taking it easy right now while dealing with a minor injury, but he's confident he'll be healthy and ready to go for the start of the season. Aubrey and Robert, back to you.
Thanks, Danielle. The Harker School brings us the Scholar Athlete Award each week, and this week it's Mario Carrillo from Alisal with a 4.3 GPA headed to Columbia next year.
Brought to you by the Harker School, senior Matthew Chung recently committed to swim competitively for Harvard this fall. In addition to taking multiple top 3 finishes in CCS, Matthew was part of the 4-man team that finished 4th at the state championships in 2019. At Harker, transitional kindergarten through 12th grade students discover their passions. Learn more at harker.org.
Be sure to check us out on social media for lots of fun content, including videos, news updates, and lots more. We're at 49ers Cal High everywhere, including TikTok.
And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on when new videos are posted each week. We have videos going back several years, so go to our YouTube channel to find your highlights from the past. Coming up, the former De La Salle tight end is this week's Deja Vu athlete.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Lexus of Stevens Creek, we get it. By Clover Sonoma, the #1 milk brand in Northern California and proud partners of the 49ers. And by Devcon Construction, build, design, perform, sustain.
It's Deja Vu. Clover Sonoma Dairy helps us look back at high school stars now grazing in the professional field.
This week we feature the former tight end from De La Salle High School, Austin Hooper. Austin played for the Stanford Cardinal and was selected as first-team All-Pac-12 in 2015. He went on to be a third-round pick for the Atlanta Falcons in the 2016 NFL Draft and scored one of his 21 career touchdowns in Super Bowl 51. He now plays for the Cleveland Browns.
Coming up, the stories we will be featuring on next week's show.
But first, here's this week's training tip by our good friends at the Raikus Center.
Hey, I'm Coach Juan Pablo. Today's training tip is resist rotation press. Rami here is going to demonstrate the exercise. We're going to start with a split stance position and do 3 different positions. So left leg forward, right leg back. You're going to press out, keep your hands in line with your sternum. Go ahead and press out. Back in, do 1 more. Then we're gonna drop, get down a little bit lower. 1 press, come back in. Drop down all the way, a knee inch off the ground. 1 last rep, go ahead and press out, come back in, and that's your resist rotation press.
That's our 49ers Cal High Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Bronstein. Next week we'll feature the De La Salle tight end who's also tight with his riffs and his beats. We'll meet Brody Tagaloa next week.